Hi Godos, this is Let Me Code C. Hi Godos, in this section we're gonna catch about the an important thing, data types. So here we're gonna see about what is data type and why it is important. Okay, the very first thing, data type should be known before entering into the any programming languages. So what is data type? A data type is simply a collection or grouping of values. So we can simply say that data type is an grouping of values. Yes, it should be the correct name for the data type. So like in real life, we said numbers as numerals, letters as alphabets or word. Then other great example is separating the animals like domestic animals and wild animals based on their characteristics, right? So here, our user data are classified into several categories based on their characteristics. Why means it is very useful to maintain those. Then we go into why data type is important and why it is created. So data are grouped into several categories only to store in a proper way. What do you meaning that proper way is the question, right? So because each and every data has a specific binary values. We're saying to the compiler that it is an integer data, so handle it like an integer. It is a string data, so handle it like a string data type. It is a floating value, so handle it like a floating data type. Is the first use case. Then second, it helps in memory management. So why? It will create the right amount of memory for our data. Okay, so these are the use cases about why data types are important. Then in C language, we are classify data types into three categories. So first thing is primary, derived, and user defined. So in primary data type, we had integer, character, floating point, double floating point, y. So integer means it contains signed and unsigned numerical values. So each and every numerical values are classified as an integer data type. Then character. So character is nothing but from our alphabets A to Z is said to be an character. Then floating point. So here integer has an only an whole numbers of data, but in floating point we add an decimal number of data. So double floating point means we add an huge number or huge volume of decimal values. We can set it as double floating point. Then we note void. So what is void? It returns nothing. So the nothing data types are said to be an void data type. So about the derived and user defined data type can we see in our further videos. So now we gonna see about the primary data types in an with an example. Here we are gonna catch about the practical sections of our data types with the basic syntax. So in the first line, I'm included hash includes to.h as a header file. Okay, that's great. Then in line number 4, I'm said the main function is a type of integer with return 0. Okay, that's all good, nice. So entering it into our data types. So first thing, I'm going with integer. So int a equal to 90. So here this statement says a is a variable with the type of integer data type. Yes, then it contains 90 as its value. Okay, so I'm going to print this with the help of printf, which is an inbuilt function, right? So I'm using formatting. Then yeah, yes, put a semicolon. So try to run this. Yes, we had an output of 90. Okay, so then we're gonna try to use the character, right? So character is mentioned with the keyword char. Same says char c equal to a. So very first thing, we entering the character values with the help of single quotes. So without using the single quotes, it makes an error. So I'm saying character C equal to A. Okay, then try to run this with the help of same printf statement. Here we're using the syntax value format value as C. Okay, just a minute. Yes, that's great. We used an C. So before closing, okay, all the syntax are great. Yeah, we expected the correct output. It prints A. Then we're going to see about float data type, right? So we said float is also an integer, but it uses and decimal values. So float A equal to whatever the values we can use with the decimal points. So I'm using to print this with the same printf statement, but here I'm using the format F because it is a float data type, right? So float A. I'm trying to run this. Oh, we got a small error, right? Yes, we catched up. Then our final example, we're going to use double floating point, right? So double A equal to, we said it is a large container for our floating point data. So dot same, I'm going to print this with the use of same our printf function. We using long float because double is said to be a long float, right? Yes, time to run this. Okay guys, this is our today's session. Thanks for watching. Let me see you in next video.